Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back, whatever time it is, wherever you're coming from. Today is Saturday, September 20th, 2025, and we're going to be in two stories in the 2nd Corinthians book, chapter 12 today. Looking at our daily reading plan, we'll pop it up here. September 20th, we're down to the final two chapters in the book of 2nd Corinthians. One chapter today, one chapter tomorrow. We'll start with Paul's vision and his thorn in the flesh. Yesterday we left off him talking about the boasting that he was doing and wouldn't do and whatnot. And then we pick up with, this boasting will do no good, but I must go on. I will reluctantly tell about visions and revelations from the Lord. I was caught up in the third heaven 14 years ago. Whether I was in my body or out of my body, I don't know. Only God knows. That's an interesting statement right there in itself. In the Greek, it was, I know a man in Christ who was caught up to the third heaven. There is multiple heavens, friends and neighbors, and this apparently happened 14 years ago for Paul, who was formerly known as Saul. Didn't know if he was having an out-of-body experience or in the body, but only God knows. Yes, only God knows whether I was in my body or outside my body. But I do know that I was caught up. But I know such a man, that he was caught up to paradise, and heard things so astounding that they cannot be expressed in words, things no human is allowed to tell. So we're already starting off with a story about when Paul, interesting, very interesting. That experience is worth boasting about, but I'm not going to do it. I will only boast about my weaknesses. If I wanted to boast, I would be no fool in doing so, because I would be telling the truth. But I won't do it, because I don't want anyone to give me credit beyond what they can see in my life or hear in my message, even though I have received such wonderful revelations from God. So to keep me from becoming proud, I was given a thorn in my flesh, a messenger from Satan to torment me and keep me from becoming proud. 3 different times I begged the Lord to take it away. Each time he said, my grace is all you need. My power works best in weakness. So now I am glad to boast about my weaknesses, so that the power of Christ can work through me. That's why I take pleasure in my weaknesses, and in the insults, hardships, persecutions, and troubles that I suffer for Christ. For when I am weak, then I am strong. Paul's concern for the Corinthians. You have made me act like a fool, boasting like this. Some manuscripts do not include boasting like this, so some just stop at, you have made me act like a fool. You ought to be writing commendations for me, for I am not at all inferior to these super apostles, even though I am nothing at all. When I was with you, I certainly gave you proof that I am an apostle, for I patiently did many signs and wonders and miracles among you. The only thing I failed to do, which I do in the other churches, was to become a financial burden to you. Please forgive me for this wrong. Now I am coming to you for the 3rd time, and I will not be a burden to you. I don't want what you have. I want you. After all, children don't provide for their parents. Rather, parents provide for their children. I will gladly spend myself and all I have for you, even though it seems the more I love you, the less you love me. Some of you admit I was not a burden to you, but others still think I was sneaky and took advantage of you by trickery. But how? Did any of the men I sent to you take advantage of you? When I urged Titus to visit you and sent our other brother with him, did Titus take advantage of you? No, for we have the same spirit and walk in each other's steps, doing things the same way. Perhaps you think we're saying these things just to defend ourselves. No, we will tell you this as Christ's servants and with God as our witness. Everything we do, dear friends, is to strengthen you. For I am afraid that when I come, I won't like what I find, and you won't like my response. I am afraid that I will find quarreling, jealousy, anger, selfishness, slander, gossip, arrogance, and disorderly behavior. Yes, I am afraid that when I come again, God will humble me in your presence, and I will be grieved, because many of you have not given up your old sins. You have not repented of your impurity, sexual immorality, and eagerness for lustful pleasure. There we have Paul laying it down, not beating around the bush, but a very interesting beginning story about the thorn in his flesh and his visions, and going caught up to the third heaven 14 years ago. I urge you to do some more study in this, and if you have a study Bible, go ahead and grab that. So I opened up my study Bible here, 2 Corinthians 12, 2-3. Paul continued his boasting by telling about visions and revelations he had from the Lord. Paul explained that he didn't know if he was taken up in his body or in his spirit, but he had been in paradise, the third heaven, perhaps referring to the place where God himself lives. This incident cannot be positively identified with the recorded event in Paul's career, although some think this may have been when he was stoned and left for dead, which was in Acts 14, 19-20. Paul told about this incident to show that God had uniquely touched him. Very interesting. All right, with that, I'll leave you until tonight's reading. Have an amazing Saturday. God bless.